This presentation will familiarize you with the new Motorola 800 MHz portable trunking radios. These radios are dual band, covering the 800 MHz range and the VHF range. We have two portable radios of this kind. These portable radios are not a replacement for their mobile counterparts and are only to be used for on-scene or short-distance transmissions. The portable radios have a very limited range because of the insufficient antenna and the limited transmit power, which is 1/10 of the mobile. The portable radios are a bright lime green color. The antenna on the portables is also a GPS antenna. The antenna is delicate, so don't bend it very far, and you should not lift the radio by this antenna. The GPS function has not been programmed into the radio. This knob is used to turn the radio on and to adjust the volume of the radio. The taller knob in the center is the channel selector. There are 16 channels per zone, with 16 zones available. There is a microphone on the control panel side of the radio, as well as the main display. This 4-way rocker switch is used to navigate inside selected menus. The 3 buttons below the main display allows you to select programmed menus. The left button is programmed as Zone, which is where you would change the zone you are in. Zones have up to 16 different channels programmed. The channels are grouped to contain channels of a similar nature. 8 of the 16 zones are programmed with channels. Press the left button to select the zone menu. Use the 4-way rocker switch to select the desired zone, and then press the button under the displayed SEL at the bottom of the main menu to activate that zone. Press the middle button to change the time on the radio. There is no daylight savings setting. The right button will toggle the button tones on and off. The home button will get out of any menu. This button is the data feature button, however, it is not programmed and does nothing. There is a 3-position switch between the volume and channel knobs. Turning to A or C will enable scanning on the radio. Turning to B will turn off scanning. This is useful if you only need to hear the channel you are tuned to. Here is a rotated view of the portable radio. This is also a top display of the radio, so if the radio is on your belt, you will be able to see what channel you are on. There is also a second microphone on the back. This allows you to clearly speak into the radio regardless of how you hold the radio. It is also part of the noise-canceling function of the unit. Another speaker. This button is not programmed or used at this time. Here is your push-to-talk button. This button is programmed with the light and flip function. Short pressing this button will turn on both of the display's backlight. Long pressing will flip the top display. More on this later. This bottom button is programmed with 2 functions. When on a conventional channel or a non-trunking channel, it does nothing. If on a trunking channel, it will display the site and RSSI information. Not needed for our operations. This is the battery. There are battery releases on both sides of the battery. Now, for the top view of the portable radio, this is the location of that 3-way switch to turn on or off the scanning function. The top display has less information than the main display, but it will show you the channel you are on. This 2-position switch here will lock and unlock the buttons on the radio so they do not accidentally get pressed. The volume and channel knobs and the man-down button will still work when this lock is on. There is a LED on the top of the radio which will turn red when you transmit and yellow when a signal is received. The large orange button is the man-down button. This is to be used only in an emergency. A long press will activate the man-down function. The radio will transmit and the microphone will open for 20 seconds so everyone on that channel can hear anything that the microphone picks up. This allows a 1-button press to transmit your emergency message. All radios tuned to that channel will hear a series of beeps, and the message emergency is displayed on their radios, informing them of a man-down emergency. If you accidentally press this, quickly turn the radio off to cancel the emergency. This is an example of the top display flipping function. The portable radio has an external microphone, which has some of the same controls that are on the radio itself. One that is not on the radio is a task light. Long pressing the task light button will turn on a LED light on the other side of the mic. Pressing again will turn it off. On the front of the external mic are 2 microphones, and 1 microphone is on the back. This is part of the noise canceling function, but allows you to transmit regardless of which way you hold the mic. The speaker is located on the front of the unit. When the external microphone is connected, all received transmissions will only come through the external speaker and not the speaker on the radio. On one side of the handheld microphone is the push-to-talk button, the volume toggle, which allows you to increase or decrease the volume from the microphone, and the nuisance button. This button allows you to temporarily lock out a channel that the radio is scanning so you don't have to hear it. Turning the radio off and back on will reset this. The top of the external mic has a large orange man-down button, which is the same as the one on the radio itself. Also on the top is a LED that indicates red when transmitting and yellow when receiving. There is also a blue LED that indicates a Bluetooth connection. However, this is not used. To remove the battery, press both release catches in and pull the battery down and out. Here are some of the icons that will be displayed on the main screen. This indicates the strength of the signal to the control channel radio. This does not show up when on any of the VHF simplex or VHF repeater channels. There are no simplex channels in the 800 MHz range. When receiving a signal, you will see this icon. When transmitting, you will see this icon. Here is a standard battery level indicator. This one shows when you are tuned to a simplex VHF channel. If on a VHF channel and you don't see this icon, then it is a repeater channel. This does not show up on trunking channels. This icon displays if that channel is on the scan list. Here are examples of what the main display can show. Left shows emergency, as when someone presses the man-down button. The middle one is displayed when you are out of range of the trunking system. The radio will also beep. The right one is not used for us. The radio is programmed to time out after 30 seconds of transmitting. This prevents one radio from tying up the channel, such as when someone sits on the mic. Just remember to keep your messages to less than 30 seconds at a time. These new radios have over-the-air programming. If the display wants you to upgrade, do not do it. Select Reject and notify the chief. Applying an unknown upgrade could cause the radio to stop working. Not a good idea in an emergency.